Imagine if you lost your arm today, and a few months later, it grew back. Not a scar, not a replacement, but a fully functional arm with nerves, muscles, and movement. Now imagine something even more unbelievable. What if a single part of your body could turn into an entirely new version of you? Not a clone in a lab, but a living, breathing organism. In the ocean, this isn't science fiction. This is reality. And the creatures that can do this have been doing it for over 500 million years. Starfish are not just strange, they are ancient. They first appeared during a time known as the Cambrian explosion, a period when life on Earth rapidly evolved into complex forms. That means starfish existed long before dinosaurs, long before mammals, even before the first plants appeared on land. Over hundreds of millions of years, they've survived. Mass extinctions, ice ages, extreme climate changes, and through all of that, their regenerative ability has remained, refined, perfected, almost like nature has been protecting this secret. To understand regeneration, you need to understand how different starfish are from humans. They don't have a brain like ours, blood like ours, bones like ours. Instead, they have something called a water vascular system. This is a network of fluid-filled canals that helps them move, feed, sense their environment. Their tiny tube feet work using water pressure almost like hydraulic machines. And here's the crazy part. Their nervous system is decentralized. That means they don't rely on one central brain. Each arm has a level of control. So even if an arm is separated, it can still react, still move, still function for a while. Now let's go deeper. When a starfish loses an arm, something extraordinary begins almost immediately. The starfish quickly seals the wound to prevent infection and fluid loss. This is where things get insane. Cells near the injury lose their identity. A muscle cell? It forgets it's a muscle cell. A skin cell? It resets. They go back to a more primitive state, like blank biological building blocks. A mass of these flexible cells forms at the site. This is called a blastema. It's basically a regeneration hub. The blastema starts rebuilding. Skeleton structures, muscles, nerves, organs. Everything is rebuilt in the correct structure. Not randomly, not imperfectly, but with precision. Here's a question scientists still struggle with. How does the starfish know what to regrow? How does it rebuild an arm in the exact shape and structure? There's no central brain giving instructions, and yet, the process is perfectly organized. Some scientists believe the information is stored at the cellular level. Others think chemical signals guide the process like a map. But the truth is, we still don't fully understand it. Some starfish don't just regenerate, they reproduce through regeneration. This is called asexual reproduction. Here's how it works. A starfish splits. Each part contains a piece of the central disc. Each piece grows into a new individual. No mating, no partner, no fertilization, just division and regrowth. It's like nature's version of cloning. But regeneration is not always a superpower. Sometimes it's a risk. If a predator eats too much of the central disc, the starfish cannot recover. If conditions are poor, low oxygen, pollution, or lack of food, regeneration slows down or stops. And during regrowth, the starfish is weaker, less mobile, more vulnerable. So every time it loses a limb, it's making a trade-off. Survival now, for vulnerability later. Let's compare starfish to other regeneration champions. Octopus can regrow arms. Intelligent, fast, but cannot regrow entire body. Lizards can regrow tails, but replacement is simpler, not perfect. Planarian worms, extreme regeneration, can regrow entire body from tiny fragments. But starfish sit in a unique position. They combine complex structure, full limb regeneration, and sometimes full body reproduction. Scientists have tested starfish regeneration in labs. They've observed regrowth speed changes depending on temperature. Nutrition affects success rate. Some species regenerate faster than others. In some cases, regrowth can take weeks for small parts, months to over a year for full arms. This is not instant healing. It's slow, but incredibly precise. This is where things get exciting. Scientists are studying starfish for breakthroughs in stem cell research, tissue regeneration, wound healing, organ repair. If we can understand how their cells reset, we might be able to heal spinal cord injuries, regrow damaged tissues, reduce scarring, improve recovery after surgery. Right now, humans have limited regeneration. Skin heals, liver partially regenerates, but nothing close to starfish. Yet. Even with their power, starfish populations are collapsing in some areas. One of the biggest threats is sea star wasting disease. This disease causes tissue decay, limb loss, death. And here's the scary part: regeneration can't save them from it. Entire ecosystems have been affected. Because starfish are often keystone species, without them, the balance of marine life changes dramatically. Starfish are not just survivors, they are controllers of the ecosystem. They feed on mussels, clams, slow-moving prey. By doing this, they prevent one species from taking over. If starfish disappear, some species multiply uncontrollably and entire habitats can collapse. We are only beginning to understand regeneration. In the future, scientists might activate regeneration genes in humans, use bioengineering to regrow tissues, create artificial regeneration systems. But this raises huge questions. Should humans have this ability? What are the risks? Could it lead to inequality in medicine? Nature already solved the problem. We're just trying to catch up. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, and yet, we've explored less than 10% of it. Think about that. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the depths of our own oceans. And hidden in those depths are creatures like the starfish, quietly evolving, perfecting abilities that seem almost supernatural. Regeneration is not rare in the ocean, it's everywhere. But nowhere is it more fascinating than in the slow-moving, silent world of echinoderms. Inside every starfish cell lies DNA, just like in humans. But the difference isn't the presence of genes, it's how they are used. Scientists have discovered that starfish activate genes that humans also have, but don't use in the same way. Genes linked to growth, healing, cellular transformation. In humans, these genes are tightly controlled, sometimes even switched off. But in starfish, they can be reactivated, again and again, almost like unlocking a hidden mode. Interestingly, not all regeneration attempts succeed. Sometimes a limb grows back incorrectly, shorter, deformed, or incomplete. This shows something important. Regeneration is not magic, it's biology. And like all biological processes, it can fail. By studying these failures, scientists learn what signals are necessary, what conditions must be perfect, what goes wrong when regeneration breaks down. Failure is helping us understand success. Regrowing a limb is not easy. It requires enormous energy. A starfish must consume more food, slow down movement, prioritize regrowth over everything else. This means regeneration is a survival investment. The starfish is betting its future on its ability to rebuild. If it doesn't get enough energy, the process stops, and the consequences can be fatal. While regeneration happens, another battle is taking place. At the microscopic level, bacteria and pathogens try to invade the wound, but starfish have primitive immune defenses that help protect them. Not as advanced as humans, but effective enough. Still, if infection takes over, regeneration fails. This is one reason why pollution is so dangerous. It increases harmful microbes in the water, turning a healing process into a deadly one. Temperature plays a huge role in regeneration. In warmer waters, metabolism increases. Cells divide faster. Regrowth speeds up. In colder waters, everything slows down. Regeneration takes longer. This means climate change is affecting regeneration in complex ways. Warmer oceans might speed up healing, but they also increase disease spread, disrupt ecosystems, stress marine life, so the balance becomes unstable. Some starfish live in extreme environments, deep-sea trenches, near freezing waters, high-pressure zones, and yet they still regenerate. This suggests that regeneration is deeply built into their biology, not dependent on perfect conditions, but adaptable, flexible, resilient. This brings us to a big question. Are starfish immortal? The answer is no, but they come surprisingly close in some ways. They don't age like humans. They don't have a clear expiration date. If they avoid predators, disease, environmental damage, they can live for many years, some species for decades. And with regeneration, they can survive injuries that would kill most animals. So while they're not truly immortal, they challenge the idea of death as we understand it. Imagine a hospital in the future. A patient arrives with a severe injury. Instead of surgery, doctors activate regeneration. Cells begin to rebuild, tissues reform, organs repair themselves. This is not impossible, it's just not available yet. Researchers are already working on stem cell therapies, gene editing technologies, tissue engineering, and every discovery brings us closer. Regeneration isn't just inspiring medicine, it's inspiring technology. Scientists are designing self-healing materials, robots that repair themselves, systems that adapt after damage, all inspired by creatures like starfish. Nature has already solved problems we're still trying to understand. If starfish disappear, we don't just lose a species, we lose knowledge. We lose biological secrets. We lose potential breakthroughs in science and medicine. Protecting marine life is not just about nature, it's about our future. Starfish don't make noise. They don't chase prey at high speed. They don't dominate headlines, but they are biological geniuses, masters of survival, architects of regeneration, quietly demonstrating abilities that humans can barely comprehend. In the end, the starfish teaches us something powerful, that destruction is not always the end, that loss can lead to renewal, and that even the simplest creatures can hold the most complex secrets. Beneath the waves, in the silent depths, life has found a way, not just to survive, but to begin again. If this blew your mind, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the ocean is full of mysteries, and we've only just scratched the surface.